It's been 3 days since the raid on this warehouse by the ATF, and the entire Illumination religious group has dispersed.
The group had congregated for their weekly spaghetti dinner and was just about to raise a glass for their traditional toast when officials stormed the event searching for illegal drugs.
Everybody was so kind to me and so friendly, and I just felt like I was home.
The environment was just intoxicating.
What is on the fringes of beliefs? What are people discovering?
Find your light on Tuesday night.
They had me at spaghetti.
That's when I knew this is a tribe I can get down with.
Cuckoo, cuckoo.
But I was looking for a human connection.
And so that pulled more people in. It's a very inclusive atmosphere because once you're in, you are brilliant too.
Charge it up! Charge it!
Cuckoo, cuckoo.
They have a lot of control over you. You lose contact with your friends. Then after a while, you think that you need to be in this place.
I started seeing them also as people and not eccentric personalities. And once I did, it was really disappointing.
So my spidey senses were sensing that it was kind of weird.
I mean, I don't even know if, and all of them know that they were even associated with a cult.
I just assumed it was some sort of like mega church creepy Jesus kind of a thing, you know?
I'm not a huge proponent of this satanic alien orgy thing going on every Tuesday night.
You are not going to believe this.
Here's just the circle that worked out. This is the circle that don't, not, but here I am today.
Chanting, power up, power up, power up.
Cuckoo, cuckoo.
I didn't know they were in a cult. I thought they were just dicks.
Greetings, terrestrials. Today is March 25th, 2021, and these are some strange times indeed. You're tuning in to Strange Times Indeed. I'm your host, Cliff McCallister, and this is a clip we used in a previous episode of the show. We thought we got it out of that transition, but it snuck back in somehow. Every week on this show on Strange Times Indeed, we take calls from the viewers, calls from people like you to hear about your experiences with the unexplained, the strange, the bizarre, cryptids, ghosts, extraterrestrials. We take your calls live on the show to hear about what you've witnessed. But tonight, things are a little different. And we'll get to that in just a minute. But first, we've got one incredible top story off the top. Hi, Cliff. Hi, Steven. Barefoot52 in the chat. If you're watching in the chat tonight, go ahead and say hello. Introduce yourself to those of us at Strange Times. Introduce yourself to the true believers in the chat. Our top story this week, big news from outer space. From the M87 galaxy, Stephen, let's bring up this image. This is the crispest, the most crisp image of a black hole we have had yet. Look at that thing. Danger Mouse is back. A previous caller to the program. Hello, Danger Mouse. And welcome, everyone. We've got some wild things. Look at this, straight out of deep space. Right here, this incredible black hole image. This is the most crisp image we've had yet of how light polarizes around a black hole. You can see almost the strands of light stretching into it. In the bottom right-hand corner, I feel like this is an incredible image of an incredibly dark and unknowable energy. And it almost brings to mind the question, like, these dark energies in the recesses of space, so powerful they can suck in anything, even the light that passes by, spiral it in and stretch it into infinity. And what is that creating, and what is that spitting out into our universe? Well, It's hard to say. You see, I've been thinking a lot about monsters this past week. What makes something that may at first seem so human suddenly become so grotesque and unrecognizable? And I've been pouring these emotions and my thoughts about monsters into monsters. And so tonight, we're going to make a monster live on Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. Steven, let's bring up the image. Let's bring up the live camera.
Can do, Cliff. Let me go ahead and bring up that live camera here.
Keep me on screen for this. We're going to take a live look across the room at some of the monsters that I have constructed this week. Because I have been working through these thoughts about monsters.
I've got it blocked right here. Can I go ahead and reveal? Can I go ahead and reveal the monsters?
Show the people. Thank you.
Oh!
There they are, right in the center.
I've just been
putting these together because I've been thinking about monsters. Particularly. And these thoughts have been translated into Frankenstein monsters that you see on screen. Because I've been reflecting on these tough feelings that I've been going through, and I think some of you in the viewing maybe experience some feelings too, and I think every now and then it's good to take some. I'm hearing there's a lot of reverb, Steven. Someone's saying there's a lot of reverb in the chat.
That's my fault. I'm going to go ahead and maximize this view.
Thank you, Steven. All right, there we go. All right, so here's the thing. We're getting more notes of echo. Steven, let's get this sound fixed. All right. If you're watching, comment that the echo is fixed. Oh, there's feedback on the second camera is what people are saying. Okay. All right, we've got it figured out.
Why would that be? What's going on now? People, you do look muted. I'm conveying your messaging. Who's trying to silence you? People can hear me. Can they hear you? Does not seem like they can hear you. I can hear you, but it does not seem like they can hear you right now. This is certainly something that seems like it should be fixed. No, they can't hear you, Cliff. They can't hear you. This is an emotionally heavy episode, is what Cliff is saying. Vice versa, sorry. No, they can hear me. They can't hear you. They can't hear you. Okay, hold on. Let me try these. So that way you can be heard and I can be heard. There's a lot going on. I don't know what here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying now. Wait, okay. I have to switch my entire audio patch because it does not seem like this is currently working at all. Let's change my speaker of the Zoom call to something more generic so that we can be used. You will not be fed through my audio on my end, but let's see. Okay, and go back here. Cliff, are you still there? Or can you still hear me? Now I cannot hear you. This is a catastrophe. This is never happened on a Strange Times show. What is going on today? Let's do this. Get rid of you. We want to be able to hear your voice. Ah, hello. People do want to hear you. Well, we are not getting any bars on the audio thing.
Okay.
You should be heard now.
You should be heard.
I should be. Am I being heard in the chat? I need a solid confirmation from the viewers before I launch into
I
something.
switched all of my audio.
Yep,
You should be being heard.
Oh boy, friends of the show, we are in for it tonight. The cosmos is blasting out such incredible negative energies that it is trying to prevent me from broadcasting out something that might heal people just a little bit right now.
You're just trying to share art.
I am just trying to do some communal work that might give people a little peace of mind. Because I have been thinking about monsters this past week. Awful, grotesque things that may at some point have appeared to be human and at one point clearly no longer are. And as I've been reflecting on this, I've come across this quote by Mary Shelley. She says, "Nothing is so painful to a human mind as a great and sudden change." Which, if anything, is what grief is in a way. Mourning a sudden change.
Thank you so much, Glass Delusion, for that applause.
Thank you for the applause. Happy to be back. So I've been thinking about monsters a lot this week, and I've been transferring that energy into creating these creatures. And I wanted to go through that with you all tonight and invite you to create your own monsters at home. We're gonna, if you've got art supplies with you or near you, here's what you're gonna need. Here's what you're gonna want. This is not the time to tell me about the UFO story in Mississippi. I have not seen it. No, sorry. This is an emotional night on the program, so we can get off topic when I say we can get off topic. I have been pouring this energy into making these monsters. And so I wanted to share that with you all tonight, and I'd like to get you all on board. If you feel that a little bit of creation, a little bit of working with your hands might do you some good right now, here's what you're going to want. You're going to want cardboard. You're going to want something to cut it with. I recommend an X-Acto knife or a box cutter. You're going to want some hot glue. You're going to want some paint or something to color or sketch with. If you do not have cardboard with you, but you want to participate, you can just as easily do this with paper. I recommend paper, scissors, any sort of adhesive that is quick drying, so it could be a glue stick or it could be tape. I trust Cliff a lot more than I trust the producers. Oh, the producers always have an agenda. You know that's for sure. All right, what was I saying? Paper. You're going to want scissors. You're going to want some sort of adhesive and whatever you want to color that paper with or sketch with, what have you.
Paper, scissors, pigment.
Pigment. Thank you, Steven.
There you go.
Same thing with the cardboard, whichever you prefer. We're going to work on that tonight. If you want to make your own art while we are doing this, while we are sitting here and I am walking you through this process, or if you want to hear me describe how to make one of these things, and run that through your own artistic filter, go ahead and get out whatever you need and create something. We'll open the phone lines in a little bit. If you're working on something else, you can call in, you can show us what you're doing, or we can pull it up at the end. we're just gonna make a little art tonight. Steven, can we bring the shot full screen? It'll give people a glance at that artwork.
That we can. That we can.
Now let's give them a glance of it without me. Can we do that? Hey, bring that mouse over here. Bring that mouse over here. Oh, okay. We'll do the visual bit somewhere else. Folks, what you are witnessing right now is a live look of the Frankenstein monsters that I have created. We're really on a small budget here at Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister, so we don't have that much of a studio crew to make this a smooth transition. But that's okay. We are going to have fun together tonight, creating art live on Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. Sound off in the chat if you're making your own art at home. This is going to be a great time. I believe it will be very cathartic for some of us. Barefoot and 52 in the chat. I do apologize if I snap at you, or I did snap at you. We just had 10 minutes of what felt like technical issues, and I'm just trying to get this show on the road, have some fun, and make some art in a way that might be productive for some folks right now. So as always, we love our viewers here on the show. So thank you for tuning in and joining us tonight. There we go. Okay, the studio crew is bringing over the last piece of the puzzle. Yes. All right, folks. Let me Okay. So there you are. You're taking a live look. And let's create. Hello. You're watching Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. I, of course, your host, Cliff McCallister, the czar of the bazaar. Tonight we are making monsters because I have been thinking a lot about monsters. I know I'm in front of the camera right now, but I will get out of its way in just a minute. So let's take a look at some of our previous creations over this past week. Just give you guys a good look at kind of what we are building here. Oh, the light is not very good to get super close to the camera right now. Actually, wait. Well, how about this? Let's see if we can get a look at that. A monster for you and a keister on the right. There it is, folks. You ever thought, no, don't bring that full screen, Steven. You're sabotaging me on a very serious evening of programming. People think that I, Cliff McCallister, am some sort of a buffoon of sorts. There we go. Thank you. Let's just take a look. So this is what we are working with here. This is one of our monster creations. And let's bring up another one. All right, here we go. Take a look at this guy. Got one eye. One eye, that guy. Okay, and let's see. We've got one more. All right, take a look. There he is. This was the first one we made. Tonight, I'm thinking a traditional green monster. I'm thinking a traditional Frankenstein kind of deal. Oh, I can tell I'm out of focus after doing that bit. Come find me, camera. Here we go. We're making art tonight on Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. So let's cast aside the old folks. Let's get those off to their own little home so we can make ourselves a fresh monster. Now, what you're going to need, as I suggested earlier, is some cardboard and something to cut with. Luckily, I had some prepared. Now, here's the deal, folks. What you're going to do when you're making your monster is you're going to start by creating two distinct human heads. These were the outline of two previous ones. So let's make a fresh one. My goodness. Here we go. Perfect. Now go ahead and sign. Are those pants crushed velvet? No, not tonight. They both had one eye. I don't quite get that comment. I think they both had two. Some of them had very small eyes, these monsters. So we're going to start by making the shape of two heads. You're probably thinking to yourself, Cliff, why am I making two heads? Well, no monster is the result of just one thing. Especially if you're cobbling together pieces of something that may appear human, but in the end may not actually be. Thus is a monster. Something so grotesque and horrific to witness and to find and to see. Chime in the chat if there's anything you think, anything particular to the shape of these heads that you'd like to see. Because we want to make something that's at least nice to look at. Now, this first head I made is a little thinner than the other heads. But there it is. Here's what we were working with for our first one. So let's kind of see if we can't find a nice balance between that. What is the yin to this yang of this very thin head? If not, a larger head. Oh, we're hitting some tape on the back. Oh, there we go. The nice thing about creating a monster, you can be kind of rough with it. Something's wrong. There's plenty of easy ways to fix it. There we go. Okay. I saw that accidentally. Careful, Cliff. Don't cut yourself. Don't worry. Barefoot and 52, I am trained at this. Okay, so we want tendrils like Cthulhu in our monster. I'm seeing that in the chat. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we can cobble together. Right now, we're working on the head. All right, so we've got these two heads right here. And you see them? Very nice, separate things. But I don't know, there's just, it's so uniform the way it is, and it makes so much sense to think, oh, this is a nice thing. This is a perfectly nice and reasonable, a perfectly nice and reasonable creature. Wouldn't you say? I certainly would. But then there's that painful, sudden change. And it's different. It's not quite what it was before. Sign up for Amazon Prime. In the midst of all this, you know, why the hell not? At least get your packages before the mail will get them to you. This is, oh, sorry. See, this is what we're working with, folks. Our complicated feelings. Cliff McCallister, I'm sure if I haven't on the show before, I love the United States Post Office. I think it's one of the best things we have. Don't get your Amazon Prime. Send your stuff through the mail. My goodness. Sometimes you get so fired up about something that's going on that you lose track of your own morals.
You know, I will say, I had to tell the Comedy Pigs this, but this was an ad that I wrote because if you happen to already have Amazon Prime, you could link your account, your Twitch account to Amazon Prime and subscribe to us for free. They just let me subscribe to us for free. So that's a message, and you know, I didn't mean to rattle you, Cliff. That's a message that I intended to write, so that way, people can support you by supporting our channel. Look at this.
I know, Stephen. This is what happens when you deal with the complex emotions that reality throws at you.
Yes. I do understand. I do understand.
Sometimes you lose track of what it is you're trying to create, the message you're trying to put out.
Yes.
And things get a little messy, and you say, "Don't give me that money on Amazon Prime."
Yes.
When ultimately, I know full well, I, Cliff McCallister, know full well that if you support us with your Amazon Prime account, you get a free subscription every time. You get a free subscription every month, and you can give it to us at the Maryland Ensemble Theater's Twitch page. Steal that money from Jeff Bezos' back pocket. You tell those bastards that Cliff McCallister sent you. We're coming for every dime Jeff Bezos has tonight. Because a monster can be many things. And tonight, on Strange Times Indeed, we are making monsters out of men. Let me readjust that camera so it's pointing more at the right spot. There we go.
Is this a proper time to explain how you ripped that up and what you do with ripping it up?
Well, yes, Stephen, I do believe this may, in fact, be a proper time to tell you about a new feature on the program. If the sound balance is off, please let me know. I don't know if it's too loud or if it's fine where it is, but...
You sound good.
Good, okay. Now would be a good time to let you know we've created a new channel point for the show tonight while we are creating this art, because we are making monsters. Grotesque, terrifying, awful-looking things. And so... why would we not give you a chance to amp that up at home? If we've constructed something and you think to yourself, well, I don't think it's quite grotesque enough. I don't think it's awful enough to reflect the feelings I am feeling. You, for 500 channel points, can give us the rip it up command, and wherever we are in the process, I will rip it up again. Maybe not as much as we did those first pieces, but we'll give it a good rip somewhere and we'll reassemble it from there. Wherever we are in the process.
Rip it up!
And if we need to make more cardboard pieces, that's okay. Because the monsters are ultimately our creation. And don't we want to have a creation that we want to look at least? With a nose. And... well, whatever could be a mouth, some eyes, you could give it some hair if you want. Let's create a monster together, but we are going to get right into this. Because we have made the pieces of our creation, the initial starting points. And we are going to see, I almost feel as if I'm missing any, but there's no way I could be. It's all out on the floor. We are going to assemble these. Now, what I see here, we've got already a pretty strong chin. And so we're going to use that as our base point right here. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Another great chin. What is a man without a strong chin? We'll combine those together. Give it a nice strong chin. Now this is where your adhesive is going to come in. Let's heat this puppy up here. There we go. Light is on. We are going to make ourselves a chin, but of course we've got to figure out the rest of the shape for our Frankenstein monster. Because if it is just a chin, it is not a head. I almost wish we had I like the size of this, which can only mean one thing.
Maybe another piece to fill out the little void?
Yes.
Aha!
But also, not a little boy. Little boys aren't monsters. These are men.
I said void, because there's a void in the middle of the face.
Oh, the void, yes.
The void.
And having everything falling apart, Stephen. We've gotten so ambitious trying to make this big technological show.
It's okay, Cliff. You can have things falling all over the place. The sound was falling all over the place today. The people are here for it. They're here.
They are sticking with us. We have 3 more viewers than we had before. Okay, let's see. We are reassembled there. Holy moly.
Good angle.
Okay. So let's kind of, now we don't need a whole head for this. We kind of know the idea. Think if you will. After all, if you are Victor von Frankenstein, you've got access to more than just the 2 heads. Say what we've got right here is kind of the side of a guy. We know that we need the meat, we just don't know how much. But why waste a good head? So we've got this right here. Say we're in this is like the rib cage of the piece. And you just get in there and yank it off. Holy moly, this is no fun to listen to. Oh crap. Tea on the floor. We've gotten so ambitious tonight. Oh baby. Here we go. Well, so much for the tea. A wonderful cup by an artist in the crowd, probably. Wild Thing Pottery. Check them out. Here we go. Okay, well, looks like we underestimated how much of this face we needed. Because we've still got a void to fill. But that's okay. Let's see where we are. Not hot enough yet. Not hot enough yet to do any good. That is okay. Sometimes part of art is just waiting for the glue to heat up. Oh, look at that. When you need a little bit more, sometimes there's always some hiding right under the table. There we go. Okay, folks. We're back in business. Filling that hole. We'll patch this one in from behind. How about that? It'll be filler, folks. How are you doing out there? If you're watching the show tonight, let us know. Are you? This is like a live shot of my crotch here. There we go. Go ahead, sign off in the chat. Whoa, rip it up from Mercedes Lewis. You're right. You're right. We're getting too calm with it. We're losing.
Whoa, rip it up. Yes.
We're losing sight of the horror of the thing.
Precisely. Thank you so much, Mercedes Lewis. Big O for ripping it up.
You're right. You're absolutely right, Mercedes Lewis. This is what we needed tonight. Because I'm sitting here and we're getting comfortable looking at this thing. This grotesque thing. It has become a source of calm as we wait for the hot glue gun to heat up. But this is ultimately not a calm or nice thing. It's a grotesque monster. And you just needed a reminder to build that. Look at that. Now it's completely different from how it was before. Almost kind of like a skull-shaped thing going. There we go. All right. It's important to remember when you're making art and you're ripping up cardboard, hydrate. Have some water. Because you spilled your tea all over the floor. All right. Okay. Steam's coming off this puppy. We're ready to go. For those of you watching at home, maybe a dangerous technique to test the hot glue. Here's how I do it. I'm telling you not to do it this way. As a responsible show host, but I test it by putting my hand up here. So we're not quite at the tip, but you can feel the heat kind of radiating off the center. It rarely gets so hot there that it will hurt your hand, but that's the safest space to check. You should probably just check it by giving it a little squirt, but now I told Steven when we were putting together the Rip It Up tool, I said, I want this to be a community experience making this monster. And if people are feeling the energy that it needs to get ripped up at any point, you tell us to and we'll do it.
That's precisely right. I was not allowed to put a limiter on the amount of times the Rip It Up could be redeemed, or if there was a cooldown, like amount of time between rips. So we're very open to ripping as frequently as our audience wants to participate in this art.
But I will also say it's not every time we'll rip it up as much as we just did. That was just kind of the first rip. It's really when if I feel as if the energy,
the big rip,
the rip has occurred.
Aha.
And also, we do want to try to end the show close to our normal time, 10 o'clock. So we are going to attempt to fulfill that feat as well. Which means we might have to pick up the pace at some point, I guess is what I'm saying. But we are beyond the point in which we need to cut more cardboard, I hope. Let's fill this out here, like so. Are you making any art at home? Go ahead and chime in the chat. If you're working on your own art, let us know tell us about what you're working on, or even feel free to call in and share your art with us. Taking calls tonight. We are kind of taking calls. If you're working on art at home, we'd like to hear from you. But we're also trying to get this art done. So if you've got something to report, I do not feel I could give it my full attention. I'm being honest with you and saying I love to hear your stories when you call in. But I'm also trying to make this art, and I can listen to you tell me about your art. But if you've got a spooky story that you need to share, please save that puppy away, because I want to give it my full attention. It's so important to me that folks are able to share their story. Oh, we got a new caller coming in. Let's go ahead. Let's let them in here. All right. We'll go ahead and, since we've got a caller, bring the music down a little bit. Hello, you're calling Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. Oh, well, they left. They were here and then they were gone.
Wow, I wonder if they're having technical complications similar to our early technical complications with this show. I wonder if their art is for one reason or another, they were unable to share.
I mean, that's the thing. When you're making art like this that is kind of fueled by these energies, you are pulling on some of the dark recesses of the universe to create this art.
Yes.
And that can lead to technical issues. Absolutely.
Very much. There's this, like the dark hole you were talking about.
Like the black hole, absolutely.
Potentially this energy void where when you're creating something so, within this world plane, like it's very physical, and then you go into this electronic realm, it can be very different, and therefore you have difficulties doing both at the same time.
Absolutely. I feel like this, he's a little more of a mouth. What's nice about a monster, you don't want to give them too strong of a mouth. They'll bite your hands off. But you don't have to get in there with sutures and things to make whatever they need. Just give it a good yank. There you go. All right, now we've got kind of holes here for where the eyes are, but we're not going to add the eyes quite yet. But where we are, I do think we are at the point where we are going to go ahead and start applying some paint to our monster. We've got Frady Cadigan in the chat says, also making a monster, also watercolor circles inspired by Luis Napican. All right, awesome. I love it. I love it that people are out there making art as we are doing this. Stephen, let's go ahead and roll a trailer for Something Brilliant from the Maryland Ensemble Theater. I'm going to go ahead and get the paint supplies set up while we do that, and we'll be right back, folks.
It's been 3 days since the raid on this warehouse by the ATF, and the entire Illumination religious group has dispersed.
The group had congregated for their weekly spaghetti dinner and was just about to raise a glass for their traditional toast when officials stormed the event searching for illegal drugs.
Everybody was so kind to me and so friendly, and I just felt like I was home.
The environment was just intoxicating.
What is on the fringes of beliefs? What are people discovering?
Find your light on Tuesday night. They had me at spaghetti.
That's when I knew this is a tribe I can get down with.
Cuckoo, cuckoo.
That I was looking for a human connection.
And so that pulled more people in. It's a very inclusive atmosphere because once you're in, you are brilliant too.
Charge it up! Charge it!
Cuckoo, cuckoo.
They have a lot of control over you. You lose contact with your friends. Then after a while, you think that you need to be in this place.
I started seeing them also as people and not eccentric personalities, and once I did, it was really disappointing.
So my spidey senses were sensing that it was kind of weird.
I mean, I don't even know if, and all of them know that they were even associated with a cult.
I just assumed it was some sort of like mega church creepy Jesus kind of a thing, you know?
I'm not a huge proponent of this satanic alien orgy thing going on every Tuesday night.
You are not going to believe this.
Here's just the circle that worked out. This is the circle that don't, not, but here I am today.
Chanting, power up, power up, power up.
Cuckoo, cuckoo.
I didn't know they were in a cult. I thought they were just dicks.
Told again. There's no sound. Help! Help!
I'm so sorry, Cliff. They can hear you now. I didn't press the right thing.
You're on. Yay. Okay, we are back once again. Welcome back to Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. Quite a night. We are dealing with some heavy energies that have been going around this past week, and we are processing them and turning them in to Frankenstein Monsters, because I've been thinking a lot about monsters this past week. And so tonight, we're doing the show a little different. We're making some art together. If you're watching at home and you are making art, we'd love for you to call in and share that art with us. If you've had an experience with the paranormal, well, I would love to hear about that, but let's probably do that another week. Let's go ahead and wait, because I want to give you my full attention when you share your stories with me on the show. But if I can't give you my full attention, I'm going to miss your incredible tale of the bizarre. So hold on to your unexplainable stories. But if you are making art like me tonight and you would like to call in and show us what you are making and share that, you are more than welcome to. Yes, thank you everybody who's been chiming in to help with the audio tonight. It's been a little iffy, but that's okay. All right, let's see. What brush to use for this face? How about this one? All right, so I have decided tonight, we've made a blue Frankenstein, a purple Frankenstein, a pinkish fleshy Frankenstein. Let's go classic green, I think. I meant to give you all the option to do that, but that's just where my spirit was headed tonight. I thought a classic green Frankenstein, because that's fun. That's enjoyable. It's recognizable. It's a monster we've seen before, even if it is grotesque. It's something that we can't quite comprehend. Look at that guy. Oh, the music stopped. This is awfully bad timing to just listen to me doing this thing. Do you know why classic Frankenstein is green? We are doing the music while we paint the beast. If I recall correctly, the Frankenstein was green because that was the color skin paint that made him look mean. And by that I mean made him look an unnatural color when compared to other actors in black and white. That's my guess. Feel free to chime in if that's not correct. Look at this. Look at this right here. This is something I love about creating a grotesque, disgusting monster like this. Look at these like loose eye flap. Absolutely, ugh, gross. No offense to anyone watching the show tonight with a loose eye flap. Here we go. Here's what folks are saying in the chat. We've got, yes, yes. Y'all are doing such a great job. I would be a mess trying to do all that y'all are doing. Tech hates me, lol. Well, you know what, Mercedes, you missed the beginning of the show. Probably. Maybe you were here the whole time. If so, that's an unfair statement to say, but it was to get the dead flesh tone in black and white. We were never supposed to know it was actually green, like how the Addams Family house was pink. Wow. You know, here's an interesting fact I just learned recently, is that the Addams Family and the Monsters came out within a week of each other. Coincidentally, like these two studios had their own shows about a monster family that lives together. And so the Monsters was not like a response to the Addams Family, and the Addams Family was not a response to like the Monsters. They all just kind of coincidentally happened at the same time. No one was feeding off of the other one's success. Being like, oh, there's a big monster kick right now. It just spontaneously happened. So we're having our own monster kick tonight. Making some monsters on the ring. I'm going to get the tunes back on in just a second, too. So you can at least hear a little something while I'm painting.
It's very interesting, these facts about things being green or things being pink to give them an uncanny look in the black and white film. Oh, there's another comment.
Oh, what was that? What just happened?
Maybe I lost your original camera, Cliff. I think I lost the camera.
All right, give me 1 second. Yep. Okay, here we go. Let's give that a try. Am I back?
Aha!
Perfect.
You are back. You
Wonderful.
are back. A bit backwards.
Thrilled to be back.
A bit backwards.
Steven, I'm gonna ask you this one way. Is there a way you can handle that?
Toggle off your phone camera video. Phone, not your computer. Toggle off the video from your phone, and then toggle it back on. And then, in the meantime,
there we go. Are we back to normal?
We're back to normal.
My goodness.
Bradbury also wrote a similar story before the Addams Family cartoons, but shelved it for like 50 years. It finally got published in the 2000s, I think.
Wow, now that is unfortunate. All right, Stephen, at this point, I'm going to be focusing more on painting because
Precisely.
It's 9:52. Holy moly. Stephen, if there's anything good in the chat, go ahead and just read it out loud to me, my friend.
You got it. You want it? Yeah. Throw that pigment down on Frankenstein's face, and I'm gonna start throwing up emotes. Why not? If you're in the chat, throw up some emotes. They're gonna fly through our screen here. And if you happen to have what is known as Bttv Emotes, it's an extension on Google Chrome, you can actually access some extra emotes. I'll throw up an alien and a little applause and a little RD20 die that is floating up there. It looks like alien please clap and dice roll just in the comments. But those actually are some extra emotes that is an extension to this channel. And also, hey, buddy, if you subscribe, you get to throw up Cliff's face. Cliff McCallister's face. I'm going to spam this emote in the chat for you right now. They are going to fly. So it doesn't matter what emotes you got, just sling them in the chat. We want to see all of your artistic expressions flying in to inspire our Frankenstein creator. Sent a picture in Messenger to Steven. That's me. Feel like I need to check my Messenger. I'm assuming this might be Facebook Messenger, or maybe my.
Was that Steven?
I'm seeing sent a picture in Messenger to Steven. So I'm finding a picture that has been sent to me. I'm presuming. It looks like art. It looks like art, Cliff. I think I should download this.
Let's bring it on screen, Steven. Whatever you got to do to make that happen.
I think I should download this art. Or maybe I can download this art. Or maybe I've got an excellent idea. It might very well need to be a download. Hey, here we go. We are on track.
Phone for some reason.
Danger Mouse, we ask your permission to bring your art onto screen. We presume that we have permission to bring your hard work into this broadcast, because you sent it to me,
Yes,
and you told everyone on air.
The presumption
Yes.
is if somebody sends us a thing, that they want us to show it.
Yes. Well, it is
So
coming.
let's show the
coming
people. All right.
We shall see. Oh, here we go. Here's some art. Boom! There it is.
Oh, okay. Now there is a truly eldritch horror, a frightening sight to behold.
There it is. Wow. I feel quite.
What I am going to do real
on par with what you're doing. There's green, a heavy amount of green involved in this Frankenstein. I don't mean to cover up your work, but I will leave this on screen up here in the top next to the Strange Time signs. I mean, really, what a beard. What a beard for this creature, this beast. I used to have a beard. A week ago, I had a birthday stream and raised enough money to shave it off. I kept the stash, but that is twisted up, almost like the octopus guy in Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah, with the tentacles. Very, very monstrous. Thank you for sharing your art.
Fantastic work there, Stephen. Thank you for communicating with the submission. And thank you, Danger Mouse, for sending in your stuff. You can't have a monster without some eyeballs. It's got to see something, so we're filling those in real quick. The theory that I go with when making these eyeballs is any eyeball will do. You're a mad scientist. Picture yourself. You've put together this creation. It needs eyeballs that can see. All the eyeballs you got are good ones. You just toss in whichever one. So I could have pre-made the eyeballs. I also sent in a Frankenthulu. We've got another Frankenthulu coming in, Stephen, it sounds like. So be on the lookout for that. All right, so we are at this point where we've kind of colored it in a little bit. So we are going to go ahead and start outlining this creature, this monster. This is where you can really kind of take control back. You've been ripping things up because people told you to, because you were mad, because you needed to create something grotesque and awful. So you did. So you made this. And that's just the start. This is where you take control back. And you get out some black paint and you do your outline. You make it look like however you see this thing. And you can tweak it. Give it some nostrils there. Now, there's no real practical reason for a monster like this to have eyebrows, but you know why it does? It's so that it can appear, at least in the slightest bit, human. They can blend in and do whatever awful thing it is that monsters do. What's fun about this part?
Okay, I have the images sent in from Frady Cadigan.
Let's bring them on.
And I feel like I should say, Strange Tips Indeed is a place, is an avenue where people can share. Is that correct?
That is true. Although I if you send them in there, I will not be able to pull them up on the show tonight because I'm doing this.
If you send them there, we can't pull them up on the show tonight. If you happen to know me personally, I'm able to get these into the show.
We can share them on a future episode for sure.
It looks like I can see some cardboard and some hot glue going into Frady Cadigan, going into the art being produced simultaneously with this stream in another location. And Frady Cadigan also sent in some other pictures. So I will actually make this guy a bit smaller and keep him here on the stream. And so we can see that right there. We can see the cardboard and the hot glue. And then we have and you really enjoy the splash of color. So this is laying into the pigment that we were talking about, because we had said I forget what the first word was, but then it was scissors and then pigment, right? There was anyways, here's the third step of our artistic practices tonight, pigment. There is a lot of color in that right there. I'm gonna cover up even more and look at that. So many dots of color. There's like all these white dots of color over top of what is not camo, a texture that I could say is close to camo, but it's so colorful and blended as well. Not very hard edges, very soft and warming, which soft and warming is definitely the kind of energy people need in this world right here. So let's put soft and warming up here in this show, and I'm gonna make you. Well, why don't we make soft and warming? I'm gonna rotate this and make it the background of our comedy night sign here in the bottom corner, and our comedy night sign is gonna be so much more colorful with this in the background. Of course, I'm making it bigger than our whole sign itself. There we go. So much art being displayed on this channel. It's museum camo. Camo elevated to the higher levels of art, Danger Mouse says. Museum camo. OMG, strange art indeed.
Strange art indeed tonight on the program.
Tis strange art indeed. I'm gonna get rid of the sign so we can continue to see Frankenstein.
Let's see.
Up there.
Where do we want to put these? Just shine it in there. Yeah, I think just like that. Just like this.
Looking good.
So we are gonna hot glue those puppies on. Whoa, boy.
Got someone in the chat complimenting my face. I do have a nice face. Much more of it is visible now that I took 3 inches of hair off of my beard, kept the stash. Got another camera angle set up tonight so you can see my face in a bit of a fishbowl lens.
Now, of course, a Frankenstein monster like this, when you're doing your art, wouldn't be any sort of a recognizable Frankenstein if it were not crudely stitched together. So here's a little secret as far as how you can do that, how you can give yourself the stitches you need for your Frankenstein. You take
it up.
Take some hot glue And go ahead first, before you do that, identify some lines as far as where you're going to want your stitching. Where does this guy get stitched together? Because this is part of the classic Frankenstein look. And give yourself like just some little patches. Take your hot glue. Now this is, I think it might be a little too hot. Let's see. No, this will work. All right, so you're gonna take it and you are going to just glue it across the line there. And you're thinking, Cliff, why are you doing that with the glue? Well, I will tell you. This is how you can add a little extra dimension to your Frankenstein monster. You take some hot glue, do it across where you would like your stitches to go. And when that hot glue dries, you paint that. That's just going to give you a little extra dimension on your stitches that are holding this monster apart, or holding it together, preventing it from coming apart, preventing your creation from coming to life. It is the care of which that you stitch your monster that gives it the ability to exist and to thrive in our world. And so then you paint over right there. And it also kind of it'll help guide you a little bit. That's going to give you just a little extra.
Wow, Tikeda is saying, great tip, painting the glue stitches. I believe we got a round of applause on that as well.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Don't burn yourself, Cliff, people are saying. Here we go, okay. So here we go. This is kind of, but right now he kind of has a bit of a pig nose, I feel like. Now this is pretty grotesque as it is, but there's one final piece that I would like to add to just make things a little worse. And so what I have been doing with these, you can see each of them has some sort of disgusting like pus coming out of its mouth, and it's a separate thing. It moves. It's not just painted on there. So this will give you some real extra dimension. Is you gotta mess up an old sock. And so you just gotta pull at it. Take your sock and just kind of cut out a chunk of it. Cut out a chunk from the middle where it's elastic, where it's woven together. And just start pulling it apart, like, not like ripping it, but delicately. As delicately and as forcefully as you can. And you'll start to see that you've got these different little curly pieces here. All one thing that you can then shove in your monster's mouth. So it's just got a little bit more things to it that's a little messed up. People posting their socks in the chat.
Very much so. I see a lot of emotes being thrown up there now. Bunch of alien heads, a bunch of rockets, and more alien heads, and then socks, because you're using the material of a sock to enhance your art. We love seeing the emotes fly through our chat. If you have an emote that you'd like to share to help enhance the energy going behind this art, please do throw it in the chat. Spam it up with the
Yes,
emotes.
every time you post an emote in the chat, I get a boost of cosmic energy that helps me dismantle this sock. Oh, we can do it. Yes, yes. We are bringing our creature to life. We are giving it the final pieces of the puzzle that will bring our creation into this world as a horrible, fucked up thing. And won't that be nice to take control? There it is. Okay, there we go. Thank you, folks, for those emotes. Look at this. Ugh, gross. And we are just going to shove that right in there. Bring it down. Just enough. You don't have too much. You want it to kind of break apart. Almost like it's drool. Think of it almost as drool, liquid drool there. Fabric drool. Just like that. So now what we're going to do, we're going to lay this guy down. We're going to glue this onto the back. There we go. Ooh, that's it. There we go. Okay. And pull it out a little more. Get it. There we go. Okay. So let that glue dry on the back. We're going to see if I'm going to pull this up anymore. Well, I think it'll be good where it is. Yowza. Sometimes to complete your creation, you just got to stick your thumb in a thing of glue. Let's do that. Let's fold it over that way. There we go. All right. It's got a little extra there in the back. And there we go. I feel like this almost looks like a Angry Birds character in a way, but there it is. There is our Frankenstein monster for tonight. Joining the ranks of these fine, messed up gentlemen. There we go. Picture him, if you will, with little neck things that a Frankenstein would typically have. Give it up. Thank you for the applause there. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight as we made some art on Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. I hope you made some art, too, at home. I hope it was a nice, relaxing shift in your evening. I'm seeing art up on the screen. Thank you so much, those of you at home who participated or who tuned in for this fun art time. Even if you didn't make art tonight, hey, keep this in mind. If you're thinking about monsters, or any monsters that may exist in your life and you just need to process it somehow, here's a way you can make a Frankenstein monster on your own. Great stuff, everybody. I love to see what people are chiming in with and to see that artwork. Fantastic night of programming. Some real high concept stuff, even if the tech got a little wonky sometimes. We made it through. What a time. This show, of course, if I didn't say at some point, dedicated to the Maryland Ensemble Theater, the only theater with the guts to put us on the air. You can check out Something Brilliant, The Rise and Fall of the Illumination Cult. That is happening tomorrow. There's a Zoom watch party. You can get your tickets to that, or you can just buy it as its own thing. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Stephen, thank you for helping us through that night. What a...
Stop.
So many twists and turns. So many heightened emotions, and you got through it all. We made it. We got it all solved. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in. For Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. Oh, wait, before I go, programming note. Bop, 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 bop. Hey, folks, guess what? Next week on the show, believe we're going to be starting the show at 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock. You're probably asking yourself, Cliff, 8 o'clock instead of 9 o'clock. Steven, if this doesn't work for you, tell me.
But why? Tell me more.
So here's the thing. I posted a thing informally on, we do movie watch-alongs on my Instagram typically. We'll watch movies together. We'll have some fun. Well, this week, a big movie's coming out on March 31st. Next Thursday is April 1st. That movie, Godzilla vs. Kong.
A couple of monsters, huh?
Godzilla, the classic tie-up. And I would not put the energy into this if the director of the film did not say there will be a definitive winner. It's not going to be a draw. It's not going to be a tie. Godzilla and King Kong are fighting. And if you have HBO Max, or if you can get a free trial of HBO Max, you can watch it there. So we are going to get that set up. I'll be watching it. I'll have headphones in, and we'll be doing commentary. We'll watch it together. It'll be an incredibly fun time watching Godzilla versus King Kong. We'll find out who wins. We'll watch it together. It'll be a good time. So that's going to be Thursday at 8 o'clock. If you have access to HBO Max, or you can get access to it for that evening, join us. We're going to find out who will be the victor. Godzilla versus Kong, a big motion picture event happening not on the Instagram Live, going all the way to Twitch with this one. So be sure to tune in for that. Steven, you're still up. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we go?
Say, even if you don't have HBO Max, you should tune into our commentary and find out exactly what's happening during Godzilla vs. Kong, the movie. Whichever rendition it's currently in, I'm excited for it.
Steven, I also think now that we're on the air and you mentioned that, we should also put a warning thing for anybody who pops in next week and does not know that that's what we're doing. If they don't want spoilers, that way they know not to sit here and wait while I'm like, they killed Godzilla.
But for some reason, I feel like if the people who don't want spoilers to Godzilla vs. Kong were watching our show, they might have probably already seen that movie.
That's true.
Like if they're diehard fans.
It comes out the day before. You'll have a full 24 hours to watch it on your own without Cliff McCallister's riveting commentary.
But you know what? I presume HBO Max probably owes us a little bit of sponsorship money, because if they are huge fans and don't want to hear spoilers and they're tuning in, they're probably going to pay HBO Max money to watch it with us. Right?
Sure. I think we can absolutely make that work. We'll get in touch with our contacts at HBO Max. It's about time we started getting paid to make these monsters on the air.
Well, this is an interesting theory.
Yes.
Godzilla is King Kong's father.
Could be. We'll find out next week on Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister. I, of course, have been your host, Cliff McCallister, the Czar of the Bizarre. Stay strange, terrestrials. Flavored like an extraterrestrial species? I'm Cliff McCallister of Strange Times Indeed with Cliff McCallister, and this is a snack review. The Moa Burger Snack Chip. It is flavored like an extraterrestrial species that has gone extinct in the Halo franchise. What do these chips taste like? Let's let the Czar of the Bizarre tell you right now. Incredible! These chips uphold their promise by tasting like a meat, but not a meat I've ever encountered before, meaning it could only be of extraterrestrial origin. I give these snacks a buy.